Hey Eagle fans, it's EaglefanKarl, and I'm going to do my prediction video for the game against the New England Patriots. As I sit here, it's the day before the game. I'm going to let you know how I think they're going to do against the defending Super Bowl champs, and unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be very good. We look at things on both sides of the ball. We know Tom Brady's going to score points, even though he's losing Gronkowski and Edelman. He's getting Amendola back, and also, frankly, our defense just has not been playing very well. And when you figure that Nolan Carroll's out for the rest of the season, he was the guy that defenses were picking on, which means that they've replaced him with a guy that couldn't even beat Nolan Carroll out for a job. It tells me that, unfortunately, I think we're going to be in a little bit of trouble in the secondary. And Tom Brady's going to be reeling from the loss last week, and I think he's really going to want to try and make a statement with this game. And I'm afraid that our defense is going to feel the wrath of that. Also, when you look at our linebacking core, it has just not been the same the last couple of weeks. I think that's because the loss of the rookie Jordan Hicks. They have not been the same team since he went out. They've been giving up a lot more big runs, a lot more big passing plays, and I think his loss has really shown the last couple of weeks. Defensive line has been playing okay, but it can only do so much of the job when the linebackers and secondary have been as woeful as they have. So I think that says a lot about our defense. So I think we know that New England's going to put points up. So the real question for this game is whether or not our offense can put points on the board to keep up, frankly, stay in the game, and then maybe able to see if we can pull something out at the end. So that's the question. Can we score against their defense? Looking at their defense statistics, they look like a fairly average defense if you look at the yardage. They're 16th in total yards, they're 19th in passing yards, and they're 11th in rushing yards. Frankly, the reason I think they're worse off in passing yards is because they're almost always ahead, so offenses are throwing against them to try and catch up. They're probably giving up passing yards late in the game, and as a result, their passing yards are probably a little worse than maybe what they should be. But as I said, total yardage wise, they look fairly average. In terms of scoring itself, I think that says a lot more about what this defense is, and that is that they're fifth in scoring, only giving up 19.3 points a game. And the other thing that really jumps out at me when you look at their defensive stats is they're second in sacks, second only to the team they lost last week, the Denver Broncos. So I think that says that they're making stops when they need to. They're getting stops at crucial times, like on third downs with sacks. So if we're going to score points against them, it's going to have to be really through the running game because we've got to keep that pass rush neutralized. And the best way to do that is to have a successful running game, which they're going to have to establish early and hopefully have go throughout the whole game. This is where I think Ryan Matthews being out really hurts us. DeMarco Murray's going to have a really good game, as is Darren Sproles. And so is that offensive line. Going to have to play a lot better than they have been. The fact that Jason Peters is still questionable for tomorrow's game, I think, says a lot, and I think that is a real concern for me as to whether or not he plays. Jason Kelsey, whether or not he's going to be 100%. That offensive line, unfortunately, has been a little banged up, and they're really going to have a good game tomorrow, both in trying to establish the running game and then giving Bradford the time to throw the ball when Bradford's passing. So I think from that perspective, it really, the offensive line is going to have really one of their best games of the season. All that put together, I don't think that adds up to a very good outcome for us. So my prediction is going to be the Patriots 38, the Eagles 16. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, give me your prediction. We'll see who gets the closest. And even though I think it's going to be rough, I'll be rooting for them. So fly, Eagles, fly.